You each have found yourselves in the unique position of transitioning from being the CEO of a major company or companies to starting your own ventures. How did you determine what your next move was going to be, and what fear did you have in doing that?
To retire after we'd done the big deal, he came to me and he said, "Greg, I'm going to give you some advice that one of my former directors gave me, and I hope it's you had the same, feel like you have the same relationship with me that I had with this director," which I did. And he said, "You have to decide whether you want to do a thing or things going forward." He said, "Figure that out on your own." He told me to figure it out on my own, and it's obviously pretty simple, right? Do you want to go, become a CEO of another public company and do a thing, or do you want to do a portfolio of things? And I thought a lot about that. My wife and I walking to the beaches of Naples and so forth, and frankly, I had the good fortune of going from an intern out of pharmacy school all the way to the CEO after 35 years. Never dreamed I would get there like Rich. I don't really have any special expertise, but learned the business. And I thought, it would be awesome to kind of do the portfolio things and broaden my knowledge base, because I was very deep in healthcare, very deep in retail, very deep in pharmacy. And I also thought that, when you're with a company 35 years, your associates become like family. And there's no way, I could ever, even if I wanted to go to run another big public company, ever have that same relationship. So that's what drove me, to kind of move to the portfolio things. We're doing some great stuff, having some fun things, and we're learning a lot together.
I had the good fortune of actually going, as I said, to work for the mayor of Atlanta for a year. And that was a really great move for me, because I learned from her to really rebalance my life. And she was doing a lot of work in the Atlanta inner city, a lot of work on education. And we went into every senior graduating class that year. The graduation rate in Atlanta for seniors was about 50%. And she made it her goal to see that they got a job, went into some kind of education, gave them all her cell phone, and then she said, "Vicki, you take all the calls." So of course the calls start ringing. She gave them her credit card. I'm thinking, oh my God. But I remember distinctly looking at her and saying, "Why are you doing this, Mayor?" And she looked right back at me and said, "Because I believe in the power of what one person can do. And when are you going to take what I think are some pretty good executive management skills and do something really good with your life? And how much money is enough money?" And I say that to you because it really resonated with me. I came from a lower middle class family. I was the first person in my family to graduate from college. And so that was the path that took me to really the CEO of two great nonprofits.
What's been the common thread throughout your whole life that you've kind of referred back to, whether it's values, whether it's themes, whether it's things that you enjoy doing? But what's the common thread that kind of links everything together for you personally?
Opportunity to reflect the world's highest principles and values and create a culture where good people can do great things and great people can do extraordinary things. And leading that environment has always been an intrigue to me, because it isn't necessarily easy. But so that's how we orient ourselves. And then the last thing is innovation is hard. It's a matter of survival. It is a function of doing most of the time the opposite thing you think you should do. And so John is right here in front, a great Motorola engineer and executive or whatever, and we were always trying to take the most renegade approach we could take to any market, any technology roadmap, and standing up against conventional wisdom, I thought was an important thing to do.
How have you lifted people up within your own organizations, and what advice, as it relates to leading people within your own organizations, would you give to this great audience?
I think, again, the issue of empowerment, and it's exactly what you said, recognition and empowerment. and compassion and understanding and support of your employees. The Women's Business Development Center, which is now 32 years old, that I don't run anymore, and is doing better than when I ran it, has now 40 employees and in 5 states. It's harder, I think, now because we're spread out and we're not there. But to nurture your employees, to be sure that they are recognized for what their skills and their strengths are, allow them to be innovative, and to have the initiative to do the things that they can do, that you may not have hired them for, but you learn if you give them, I think, the recognition, the understanding, and the support, they can do far, far more. And I think that's probably the most crucial thing in having a successful organization. Of course, ours were nonprofit, so salary wasn't it.